Hello my makeup loving friends, it is time for another first impressions and I have the Give Me Glow Vintage Rose palette here. I was watching a video, I want to say maybe a week or two ago, because it just takes me a while to get these things together, but such is life, by Laura from Gold Star Works. I'm going to link it down below in my description box, and she basically did a look inspired by this palette, not using this palette, but inspired by this palette. So I thought it was quite cool, and it is somewhat related, so felt the need to plug that. But yes, this is what the palette looks like. It is very pinky, some neutral shades in there. You could totally use that as a highlight, and there's a nice green shade down there. You know how I feel about greens. So I'm going to swatch these now just to give you an idea. So I'm going into the first row here and have them on my fingers. So this is Blush Pink. This is Thorn. Woo! Well, that's very pigmented. This is Velvet Petals. Looking nice. And this is Copper Rose. So very cohesive thus far, and it's nice because it's only 8 pans, so you know you don't tend to get too overwhelmed, or at least I don't tend to get too overwhelmed, because if I'm faced with a big palette I do tend to go a bit like, oh, what do I do with this? The cage comes down. So we are now on to Blossom, which again I think you could use as a highlight. Aged Rose Stem, which is the nice dark green. Bouquet. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, and Rust Rose. So that is the full color scheme there. I think it looks really pretty. Blush Pink didn't swatch very well, but look, excuse me. Blush Pink didn't swatch very well, but your look, that is life. I do think, however, it looks to be a very cohesive, pretty and wearable palette. If you want to keep watching to see how I made this particular eye look and keep watching for my first impressions, then please do. So I'm going to use, it's a Real Techniques base shadow brush, and I'm going into the shade Blush Pink, which is this pinkish shade here. I mean, that's quite a nice pigment, isn't it? I wish, like, there's only one green in it, and I wish they had maybe like 1 or 2 other greens in it, just to kind of, I don't know, make it more of a pink-green palette. But I still like it, so. I'm using the exact same brush again, and I'm going into the shade Rust Rose, which is this one here. It's a very simple eye look, let's face it, that's all I really do. Just going to pop it there towards the crease and try and put it up. It blends really nicely. I'm going to take this brush, it's a Morphe brush, it's seen better days, I need to give it a clean. I'm just going to put it through the colour switch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, well there's no kick up from it, so we're okay. I'm now going to go into the shade Velvet Petals, which is this shade here. So let's, I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing. Standard at this point. Switchy! That is, of course, the technical term. nice because it's not an overwhelming palette to try and figure out what it is that you're going to do with it. Like, if you're faced with, like, say, a £25 palette, then you're kind of like, oh god, I have too much choice, I don't know what I'm going to do. Whereas this, although I still don't know exactly what I'm doing, I'm like, oh no, I mean, I only have so many choices. So that's quite nice. Although I know some people love a big palette. I prefer smaller palettes. I don't get quite so overwhelmed. Okay, well I couldn't find the brush I wanted, so I've had to settle for something else. It'll have to do. It's the Real Techniques 202 brush, which is essentially like a liner brush. I'm just going to go into this concealer. It's the Benefit one. It's not my shade at all, but I'm using it as an eye primer, so we're not judging me. It's fine. And now I find the brush that I was looking for. God's sake. It's just one of those days, isn't it? I am going to, I'm going to use this Urban Decay's shadow brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Copper Rose, which is this nice pinky thing there. So I'm going to pick that up on that brush, but I'm also going to give it a bit of a spray with a setting spray, because, you know, setting spray is life. When in doubt. I really like the mattes, can give me glow, but I find the shimmers to be a bit hit or miss. They're not wonderful. I want to like them more, but such is life. Going into the shade Blossom now, using the exact same brush, so I'm going to pick that up again, use my setting spray, give it as good a chance as I can, and I'm just going to try and put a little bit of that in the centre. Doesn't really come up that much, but that's partly because it's over a darker shimmer. Oh, it's coming up a bit better. I can highlight my eyelids. Yeah, I like that. So obviously I now have to try and soften that out, kind of blend things a smidge. So I'm going to take what is now, hopefully, a clean brush. Yes, it is. It is the Morphe M535. I'm not really a fan of Morphe, but it's okay for like diffusing. So I'm going to just very lightly swish, swish, swish. Yeah, I think you see the shimmers there, they don't work that well, even with like a concealer base. Like it's not fantastic. Like, I don't think it's fantastic, but I mean, that's just me. Who cares about my opinion? Well, hopefully you do if you're watching this. That'll be helpful, Teresa. I'm taking now, are we very surprised? Not really, because I'm always using this brush. It's the Tapered Blending E40, and I'm going to go into the shade Aged Rose Stem, which is the dark green, and I want to put that on the outer line and bring it down towards the lower lash line. Hair everywhere. I did wash my hair, that's why it's such a weird mess. I mean, look at how that blends. Like, I have no complaint with the mattes. Like, I think the mattes are probably some of the best mattes I've come across, and I would buy it just for the mattes. I just think that their shimmer formula is very underwhelming. actually quite nice. It'd be helpful if I don't drop things all over the place. And I'm going to take another brush now. Weirdly the diffused crease, but it'll work. The E38, and I'm going to go back into the blush pink again, so it's that pink, and I just want to bring it down under the eye again, just to join everything up. I will be cleaning it all up anyway, so yeah. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see here. Move on! Move on. I think I'm just going to take my finger, because I'm gross, and go into the shade Blossom, which was that kind of highlighty shade. And I just want to put a little bit into my inner corner. Let's see if it applies any differently with the finger than with the brush. And it does. Much better. I mean, that gives it a totally different look. Though you should be able to put like a satin shimmer on with a brush, like, you know. But yes, that is essentially it. I'm gonna go do the rest of my makeup. I'll see you guys back in a bit. I have returned with the rest of my makeup. I will zoom you in now so you can get an idea of what the eye look looks like when it's all complete. So those are the eyes. It's quite soft looking. I'm going to take off the glasses so there isn't the major reflection of the ring light. Apologies, I haven't done anything with my hair, but such is life. I mean, I personally like how the look came out. It's very soft, it's quite gentle, it's a bit more muted than I would normally go for, but I really like the tones and the colours in this. I just think it's such a pretty palette. I like that you can fold it over. I know that seems like such a small thing, but that pleases me in my own little way. The standouts for me, I think, are Give Me Glow's matte formula. They are so darn good. Probably some of the best mattes out there. They just blend really easily. I just think they're great. I think where the palette gets left down a little bit is the satin shimmers, because they don't really perform that well. And I think when you juxtapose that against the really strong, amazing mattes, you're kind of like, oh. Now granted, I did apply them using a brush, but I also used setting spray, so that should have helped. The finger swatches gave you a totally different idea of how they looked, but it could have also just been the shades that I've chosen this. That being said though, I do think the shimmers don't perform quite as well as the mattes, but I think the mattes are beautiful. So if I was to give this a mark out of 10, I think it would be a 7.5. And the reason for that is the colour story is really nice. I love an 8-pan palette. I like that we're going towards smaller palettes, but the pan sizes are still quite big. So if you are one of those people that is going to use a palette consistently every day, this will last you a while because the pan sizes are pretty darn big. You know, they're pretty big. The mattes, like I said, they are so good. Like, I mean, so good. The reason why I'm taking marks off is the satin shimmers. I think in any other palette I'd be okay with them, but because the mattes are so darn good in this, it becomes really quite obvious that these are just meh. You know, that being said though, I think you can make a really pretty look with it. You know, it's very cohesive. You understand where all of the colors come from. You can make something really pretty with this. So I'm happy to recommend this, but maybe just consider how best to work with the shimmers. Now, I used a concealer and it still didn't come out that great. Maybe you might need to use like a glitter glue or something just to make it pop out a bit more. I don't know. But yes, that is essentially it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that general jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!